What if I told you the best thing you could do for your climbing today is to actually not go to the gym? Hey everyone, my name's Maddie. Today we're going to talk about deload weeks, aka rest weeks, what they are, why you should be doing them, and how to implement them in your own climbing. So I know, this sounds like the opposite of training. This sounds like something that is going to make you worse at climbing. Taking breaks 4, 5, even 6 days in a row, you think that might stunt your progress or set you back a little bit. You don't want to fall behind. And I've been there. I know what it's like. But I'm here to tell you that that's actually not true. In the short term, the very, very short term, yes, maybe it will set you back a day, maybe 2 or 3. In the long term, it will extend the lifetime of your climbing career. It will increase your performance over time, and it'll make the training and climbing that you're doing more effective. So what is it that I'm talking about? What is a rest week? It is literally a week where you rest. You don't climb, you don't work out. It is a week to do nothing at all. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. Nothing. You lay off the gym, you relax. On my rest weeks, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I used to climb. I used to take it down a notch, maybe do some easier stuff. But when I started with my coach, he put an end to that. He said, no climbing at all, stay home. And it was honestly one of the biggest changes I made in my training program and one of the best. So why do we do it? Why are we taking 3, 4, 5, even 6 days off in a row? Well, as you probably know, climbing takes a unique toll on your body. Your tendons, your skin, and your muscles get worked very hard. Emphasis on the skin. You need to give your body time to catch up. You've been breaking it down, you've been building, you haven't been letting it recover and repair and build back stronger. All you've been doing is breaking it. And it can only break down so much before it can't repair itself and can't let you take advantage of the gains you've been giving it. Sure, you might be taking rest days here and there every 2 or 3 days, even 4 or 5. Even just a single rest day isn't quite enough to get the real repair that you need in order to get stronger. Without a good 4 or 5 days of sustained rest, your performance will start to decrease. You end up having lower energy, your hormone synthesis, your protein synthesis isn't as high. The hormones you need in order to build and get stronger aren't as prevalent. And so your training isn't working as well as you want it to. And that is not good. When you spend so much time at the gym or in the workout area, you don't want it to be for nothing. You want to always be getting better at climbing. Rest weeks also help get rid of something very prevalent in climbing, which is overtraining. It is so easy to get caught up in a project, have a reason to keep going to the gym, and you just can't bring yourself to stop and go home for a few days. And again, I have been there. You know, you get into a rhythm of training and climbing and you just don't want to get out of it. You feel like you've got some momentum and it's not time to go home for 5 days. It's time to keep going, keep getting stronger. But in reality, it's the rest week that's actually going to help you achieve those goals. Overtraining is something that you don't really notice it when it's happening. You're just too embroiled in trying to send something or just training and getting in the rhythm and flow. Your body is saying, I need a break. And your mind is saying, let's just keep going. But overtraining is not going to get you there. Overtraining leads to injuries, acute and chronic. Stuff that happens suddenly, such as an ankle sprain, or is brought on slowly, such as golfer's elbow. Injury, I would actually say, is one of the most important reasons to take rest weeks. It also gives your mind a break. Sometimes you're just too caught up in what's at the gym and how your performance is. Rest weeks are a good time to catch up on everything, to catch up on life, to catch up on sleep. Just think about yourself and relax. Pretend that you're not a climber for a second. One of the only reasons I've been able to keep training and being motivated and keep aiming higher and higher with my performance is because I take rest weeks and even rest months in my training cycles so that I can have some time to actually step back and stop thinking about the thing that is on my mind almost every day of the year. So hopefully by now, I've convinced you that rest weeks are important. Rest days and rest weeks both make a healthy training cycle that will keep making you get better and better. So how do we do it? How often do we do it? How many days do we do it for? Let me tell you. So in order to know how often you take rest weeks, you have to know yourself. If you are in a very specific preparation or competition phase in your season or your year, you're going to want to take more frequent rest weeks. The same goes if you're trying to emphasize quality, if you want to perform better in your sessions every single session. Same goes for if you are susceptible to injury, which I find I'm always getting little tweaks here and there. Having more frequent rest weeks will help with that. Then on the other side, you've got your less frequent rest weeks. So this is when you're in a very general preparation phase, or if you're just generally climbing and have a lot of volume and you want to get that quantity in there. The same goes if you find you're the kind of person that doesn't get injured a lot. You're pretty indestructible and you can take a lot of training without getting injured. Then you probably don't need to take rest weeks quite as often. And finally, if you're in your prime, you're feeling good, then you don't need to take that many rest weeks. So for me, I kind of fall on both ends of this spectrum. I find I'm a brittle athlete, but I'm in a high volume phase. So in that case, I kind of have to find the middle ground. For me, I'm currently doing 3-to-1 rest weeks. So I'll do 3 weeks of training and then I'll take 1 rest week. And my rest week is between 4 and 6 days. Typically, I land right at 5 days. If I happen to have a rest week not too long ago, so if I'm in a 2-to-1 ratio, so I'm in competition phase or something like that, I might take more frequent, smaller rest weeks. So those will be about 3 days. The longest I've ever gone without a rest week since working with my coach is 6 weeks. And that was when I was in a very long phase and I had a double rest day in the middle of it. So it helped me get all the way to the 6-week mark. Even in a high volume phase, you do still want to make sure you don't get injured along the way. So what this means for you is you want to find where you fall on the spectrum. If you find you're kind of on both sides of it, I would recommend just hit in the middle and do one every single month. After 3 weeks, put a rest week in there between 4 and 6 days. And that is just about it. So get out there and stay home.